Alex Neist built a company that reached $40 million in annual revenue in just 3 years by selling a damn boring product: mouth tape. And believe it or not, his secret to success is a clever yet simple strategy that starts with choosing the right name for his brand.
6 years ago, I had it all. 2 years later, I lost everything. My life-changing moment was discovering mouth taping. Don't let bad sleep hold you hostage anymore.
Hostage Tape is a brand name that, according to Alex, serves two purposes: standing out from the competition and generating conversation. I bet you've often heard that there are 3 ways to build a successful brand: being the first, being the best, or being different. But the case of Alex Neist shows that there is a 4th way to find a place in a competitive market: attracting the most attention. While his competitors use innocuous names that, at best, speak about the product's qualities, Alex, on the other hand, came up with a name that captures the essence of his message: stop your bad sleep from holding you hostage. In this way, the brand sets itself apart from the competition, but also the somewhat dark nature of the name seeks to leverage the polarization that exists around the practice of mouth taping.
But some doctors are sounding the alarm.
It's the latest wellness craze. Oscar winner turned lifestyle guru Gwyneth Paltrow calls it the single best wellness tool I have found recently. But ear, nose, and throat doctor Eric Voigt says anyone considering mouth taping should know the risks.
It could end up being an emergency situation. If we're building up carbon dioxide in our body, we need to expel that, so you do not want to block your mouth.
But starting a conversation around your brand is pointless without a good communication strategy. A survey published in 2015 indicates that in approximately 71% of US households, there is at least one person who considers themselves a mouth breather. This definitely suggests a great business potential, but it also makes it difficult to send a compelling message as this population is too broad. Therefore, to effectively communicate a message that attracts potential customers, Alex decided to focus on a very specific group.
So I purposely niched down and went after men like me, right, who were 30 to 40 to 50-year-olds. And when you look at the brand, it's very masculine on purpose.
By focusing his attention on potential clients who match his own profile, Alex achieves 2 important things. First, he sends a message that they can understand because he speaks their language. And second, he has the opportunity to solve their problems much better than the competition. But to fully understand this last point, let's analyze the 3rd component of Alex's strategy: the product. By the time Alex decided to launch his brand, multiple companies were already in the market addressing the same problem with the exact same product or a similar version. And on top of that, they were offering it at a low cost to the customer. This clearly left Alex with little room to maneuver. How could he compete with established brands and customers who were used to paying low prices? In this scenario, most brands compete for a place by lowering their prices even more or increasing their advertising budgets, but these options are costly. Not to mention that trying to be the cheapest in the market is almost always a losing battle. So, after analyzing the market, Alex decided to take advantage of his decision to focus on middle-aged men by offering them something that the competition hadn't been able to offer until then: a personalized experience. While his competitors offered generic products aimed at providing mouth tape to anyone who needed it, Alex focused on specific issues of his target audience, such as facial hair. By using this approach, he was able to find an underserved niche in a saturated market, allowing him to capture the attention he needed at a cost he could afford. Naturally, this required an investment of time and money in the design of the product itself.
Even prior to when we shipped the first order, there was 6 months of figuring out the tape, actually formulating the right amount of adhesive on the tape, the right texture, the size, the shape, all of it.
But capturing attention for his brand wasn't the only benefit Alex gained by creating a personalized experience for his customers. I bet you're familiar with the law of supply and demand, which regulates market prices based on how great the need for a good is compared to how abundant that good is. In other words, the scarcer a product is, the more expensive it becomes. And that's exactly what Alex achieved by turning an extremely abundant product like mouth tape into something scarce. Mouth tape that is friendly to facial hair aimed at middle-aged men. Having the ability to raise prices allowed Alex to have the necessary resources to invest in expanding his reach and growing his business. Of course, you might think that Alex's product doesn't offer real value. But fortunately for Alex, and for you if you're thinking of starting a business, the law of supply and demand places less weight on the actual value of a product and more on its perceived value. And perceived value is entirely subjective. It depends on the customer's interests, culture, values, and of course, an effective marketing campaign. Alex's marketing strategy has 3 elements: paid ads, email marketing, and social media content. All of them focused on optimizing conversions by helping potential customers move seamlessly from one stage to the next within the sales funnel. Naturally, for all of this to happen, it's first necessary to know how to grab their attention.
Because if people aren't clicking through, then
What's the
you're
point?
not going to move the needle at all. But if you can get people to actually click through, then you get them onto your landing page. Now you've got something to work with. And then you can put a great offer on there, tell a great story on that landing page, and then you can start to convert people.
When creating copy to attract leads, you can grab the attention of your prospects by asking a question, making a promise, or using a catchy phrase. In his ads, Alex opts for the first option to speak directly to his target audience. And here is something important. Notice how the answer to this question is always yes. This is not a minor detail. When using questions in your copy, avoid those that lead to complex answers and aim for responses that are always affirmative. Getting your customer to agree with you is the first step in closing a sale. Once the customer is aware of their problem, it's time to make them aware of the solution. Here is an example from an actual hostage tape ad.
So this is going to sound really weird, but I've spent the last 2 years with my mouth taped shut every night, and it's been an absolute game changer. I'm super into biohacking because I'm always looking for different ways to improve my life and optimize my overall health, especially when it comes to sleeping. And it wasn't until I stumbled upon mouth taping that changed everything.
Naturally, this raises more questions in the customer's mind. Is it safe to use mouth tape? What if I have facial hair? Will I develop an allergy? And it's precisely at this moment that you present your product as a comprehensive solution to all your customers' concerns. This is where you secure conversions. But as I mentioned, paid ads are just one of the tools Alex uses to drive traffic to his sales funnel. For this video, I signed up for the Hostage Tape newsletter, and some of the messages I received contain copywriting lessons that I suggest you take notes on. As you probably know, the main challenge in email marketing is getting your subscribers to open the messages. Most newsletters are cold and impersonal, often bombarding their recipients' inboxes with subject lines like 50% off for a limited time or discover what we have for you. These phrases reveal the intent of the message even before it's opened, increasing the likelihood that, at best, they'll be ignored by the customer. To overcome this challenge, Alex sends his emails using a catchy phrase to motivate the recipient to open them. He then introduces a story that somehow involves the customer, finishing with a call to action. This message, for example, starts with a phrase that makes you wonder what the connection is between being in denial and the President of the United States wearing hostage tape. Well, to find out the answer, you'll have to open the email. Once inside, you find a reference to the infamous phrase used by former President Richard Nixon when questioned about his involvement in the Watergate scandal, along with a sentence that says, "If you don't believe mouth breathing is harmful, then you're like Nixon. You're in denial." Next, Alex prompts you to take action, and if you don't, he continues with the story and agitates the problem by showing you 7 health consequences of being a mouth breather. We don't have the necessary statistics to know how effective these email messages have been in terms of conversion rate, but I can assure you that they perform much better than the usual buy 2, get 1 free messages that other brands tend to send. Sales is a numbers game. By mere statistics, the more people who read your message, the more customers you will have. The secret then is to make them read. And a good way to achieve that is by painting images in the minds of customers that spark their curiosity, giving us the chance to deliver our message. In the case of this message, you might be among those who witnessed this embarrassing moment in Richard Nixon's presidency, or perhaps you didn't experience it firsthand but know enough about it. In either case, being told that you resemble Richard Nixon might bring images to mind that stir up a mix of feelings, perhaps not the most pleasant ones, compelling you to take action. This principle can be perfectly applied to any other business. Let's imagine, for example, that you sell a 100% natural anti-tick shampoo for dogs. 99% of your competitors will create copy like, "Free your best friend from those annoying ticks with our 100% natural shampoo." Emoji. But you, who understand the power of creating images in the customer's mind, will come up with something like, as you read this, each tick on your dog consumes 100 times its weight in blood. Here is how to stop them. The best part is that you can use this writing style both to persuade your current subscribers to read your newsletter and to attract new potential clients to your sales funnel. And you don't necessarily need to invest millions of dollars in Facebook ads to achieve this. Just make use of your social media profiles. Alex, for example, has turned his brand's Instagram account into a sort of landing page dedicated to addressing the main objections of his customers, sharing the benefits of his products, and presenting his own story as the brand's founder. Although it may not seem so at first glance, this content aims to build trust and familiarity, reducing friction and consequently increasing conversions. Now you know why innovation is overrated. But what about competition? Well, competition doesn't matter. Here is proof.